Right, okay, whilst I've got your attention, I'm never doing that again ever. First of all, right, I'm not going to tell you to subscribe, but I mean, you can if you want, please. But I've got something to show you. Look at these! We've made merch! So we've got black hoodies, more black hoodies, and more black hoodies. Because if you've been here for a while, you might know that we're a bit fond of those on this channel. But we didn't just leave it at that, right? We also have the exact same designs, right, in white and black t-shirts as well. Anyway, I wanted to do some cool stuff instead of just like whacking my logo on it. So what we've done, right, is we took the Polaroid design and changed them and make them based around the whole sub to Willne thing, right? So what we went for was the Hollywood sign, Mount Rushmore, and me dog. Anyway, these will all be available from the 1st of November at 8 PM if you fancy some of those. Anyway, if you don't, right, I'll shut up and we'll get into this video. Right, these blokes, they're kicking off again.
Brian is a terrible, terrible person. He is a scumbag.
Oh, no one saw that coming. And it's fake, right? Like, well, it's not. Like, it's real. It's just like internet real. Like, I don't have to explain, right? There's a benefit to them to have this whole thing going on. Okay, like say you've got a mate, right? And they've done something to slightly perturb you, right? Maybe they've said their house is a bit better than yours.
That's not even an elevator. You guys want to see an elevator? I'll show you guys an elevator, man. This is an elevator, alright? Oh, $7.3 million. That is a lot of money. Our house is like 13 or 14 mil. I forgot.
I mean, probably, right? What you do is you'd probably just give them a text, you know, maybe call them up, speak to them. No, you wouldn't, would you? You'd whack out an indirect tweet. Anyway, right, moving on. On the internet, the only reasonable way to deal with this issue is to sit in front of your fireplace for like 12 minutes and tell them you're their dad.
Hey, because Brian is my son. I am his daddy and iDubbbz is his mom.
Oh, right, cool. That's pretty normal. And if you're lucky, right, this middle-aged bearded bloke will get involved and whack out his fake laugh. And bang, right, you've got yourself a proper nice view loop between two huge channels. Like, belter. We're all winning, everyone's making videos off it, it's all great. It's just getting a bit boring now, innit? Been doing this for about 6 months. Why not figure out the next thing to do yet?
People shouldn't be like beefing over the internet and like going back and forth and back and forth.
Wait. What? But anyway, right, what I'm trying to get across here, right, whatever issue they have between each other right now is never the most important part about all this, right? It's the views, it's the growth, it's the subscribers, right? If you put yourself inside Jake Paul's mind right there, he wouldn't give a toss about Ricegum's video that he's just spent the last 11 minutes psychotically ranting about. Not a single one. But if the next day, right, he uploaded the video he's just done and it got like 100,000 views, he'd be livid. Like, I guarantee you, he would be way more upset about that than anything Ricegum could say in that video. Yeah, Jake, your hair's shit. Yeah, but my videos get views though, so it's alright. Like, he would genuinely really care, but this, I honestly don't think he gives a toss. Like, he's just a trained actor and a good entertainer. Like, he's a clever bloke. He doesn't care. And it's the same with all of the other internet beef you've seen, like the Sidemen stuff, right? I mean, I'm not saying that anyone ever claimed it was real, but like, the issue at heart that, you know, that's been massively blown up to these millions of people, it doesn't really matter. Take the whole Joe and JJ thing, for example, right? Whilst I'm convinced they actually do want to, like, you know, kill each other and knock each other out or whatever, like, if those numbers weren't really there, is that fight actually happening? Okay, so since I missed last week's episode, this is kind of one of those double episodes, right? So I've got stuff to cover from a few days ago. Girls message in a bottle finally found after 29 years. Hello, my name's Miranda and I like high and glass bottles in the sea. And then recently we got another one of those explaining my lyric videos. So you might not be familiar with the concept, right? And it comes from a website called Genius. And what they do is get like musicians in to explain their lyrics. And sometimes it gets pretty deep. Like they go into depth about what they meant when they said that.
For that one time in my life, I kind of felt like I had fell back from everything. Like I stopped writing as much and I wasn't doing as much to further myself because I was just trying to figure that shit out. Just because you have all of this in front of you and you have the world at your fingertips doesn't necessarily mean it's fulfilling.
The first hook and verse is from the perspective of someone who is calling the hotline and they want to commit suicide, they want to kill themselves, they want to end their life.
And then YouTubers who've made diss tracks have discovered it too.
So you say that he's seen his dad's dick?
Yes.
You've just called his sister a sket?
Yes.
Now on to another. Your best friend is probably your mother. You're just a shit Chris M&D.
Mm-hmm. I got his sloppy seconds.
Your girlfriend's forehead. Mad.
Okay, anyway, moving on, right? I think the pinnacle of all of this is Keemstar explaining his song Dollar in the Woods.
Are you ready? I'm about to
spill fucking bars like diarrhea. I'm about to nuke the whole city like North Korea. Are you ready?
I just screamed out, I'm about to drop bars like diarrhea. I'm about to nuke the whole city like North Korea.
Right, and then admittedly, ages ago, there was that Irish hurricane and turned the UK sky yellow with dust from the Sahara, apparently. Oh, Greg, quite tropical, this. And then there was this video of Donald Trump saying something daft. We're whacking out all the big surprises in this episode. So basically, he was like, woo, yeah, I met the president of the Virgin Islands last week.
And I will tell you, I left Texas, and I left Florida, and I left Louisiana, and I went to Puerto Rico, and I met with the president of the Virgin Islands.
But in reality, it turns out he is the president of the Virgin Islands. And then he's been tweeting out videos of prototypes of the wall that he was banging on about. Whoa, here lads, you see this, right? I call this one the anti-Mexican bastard stopper. 3,000. You'll be seeing no fajitas past this bad boy, right? Quesadillas are a thing of the past. Okay, so we'll move on to our weekly Love Island 2017 section. Really is getting a bit much now, this. So Jess and Dom, right, you know, the professional knackers, they're back at it again. They've opened a kebab shop. Now that's a high profile night if I've ever seen one. It's not just each other they're mad about, it's our kebabs too. And then there's this video of the Barca Olympiakos game, right? That again happened maybe a week or a bit ago. But anyway, Piqué got sent off, right? And you know, everyone was really annoyed. Apart from these two, they were buzzing. Oh, get in, I love playing with 10 men. Okay, and then there was Ryan.
Ryan right here. Tell Snapchat what's up, bro. That's all I needed, son. Okay. Tell him bye.
Are you okay?
Ciao.
So in terms of context here, right, I've got no idea what's going on. Like, it's just some bloke, right, filming Ryan here on his Snapchat, but it's done numbers, so I suppose I've got to talk about it, haven't I?
All right, Ryan.
So essentially what I've gathered from this is he's like Dan Daniel with glasses.
A new haircut and a new style entirely.
Man, tell him, man, you still fucking bitches?
Yeah.
Okay, Keith of the week, or the last few weeks, is this Everton fan punching a Leon player with his son in his hand. You will never see anything more hard Brexit than that. And then there's this video which is surfaced from Instagram, which seems to be like the land of like the weirdos at the moment. And what it is just this lass putting her makeup on and you're thinking, oh, that's standard. Nah, she's doing it with a chicken nugget. Why are you doing that then? Okay, then there was a TV show that came out in the last week titled Gordon on Cocaine. And sadly, right, it's not Gordon Ramsay off his nut going shouting at like loads of lesser chefs, right? All that's really happened here is that TV channels have learned how to clickbait too. Okay, then there was this. China is testing a train that runs on a virtual track. Now, I don't know about yous, right? But that looks suspiciously like a bus to me. And then we'll finish off with a really lovely, happy, cheerful note here. Man convicted of killing and cooking dog. What a lovely bloke. So this Dominic O'Connor killed his dog before cooking it with a few onions and an OXO cube. Well, that sounds like a right delicacy, Dominic. I'm glad you did that. Anyway, guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you have enjoyed. If you have, please leave a like down below. It genuinely really helps the video. If we could try and hit like 40,000 likes on this video, that would mean a massive amount to me. It is a big target now. I am asking at the end of the video, so we might not hit it, but it would be great if we could. Anyway, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, we're trying to hit that 1 million by the end of the year, so any help towards that would be absolutely massive. Anyway, I'll shut up and I'll see you guys later. Dirty soda and styrofoam. Spill the day to get my mind blown. Dress it up.